Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IGN Pro League series. My name is Total Biscuit and I'm bringing you what should be an absolutely stellar matchup right here between Select of Team Dignitas and Catz of Team Root. I am looking forward to this more than you could possibly imagine. Two amazing players, astonishing players guaranteed, and this, just for the sake of your enjoyment, is also a best of 5 series, so you're going to get to see plenty of action from these two absolutely astonishing players. Are you ready to rock and roll as we see Select's flexible and innovative style matchup against Catz's pure insanity? I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are. The violence is coming your way right now. And before I get started, might I also remind you that you have the chance to win one of 5 3DSs if you head over to IGN.com/IPL, courtesy of the IGN Pro League. Violence and 3D consoles. What more could you ask for? Well, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to keep you waiting. I'm ready. Are you? I certainly hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Zelnaga Caverns. This will be the arena for today's matchup. I bring you Select of Team Dignitas. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran down to the southwest of this particular map, versus his opponent Catz from Team Root. He is in the yellow trunks, and he is playing Zerg up to the northeast. This I have been looking forward to for a very long time, and you want to know why that is? Because we've got two players right here who are extremely flexible and very inventive. Select. He can do all sorts of things as the Terran. I've seen him build proxy planetary fortresses in people's bases, all sorts of crazy nonsense like that. He is not afraid to use plenty of different unit types, although I have to say recently he's been favoring Marine, Marauder, and Medivac, which has actually been a problem for him, certainly against Protoss players. He's not been able to really do the job against them. However, in a Zerg environment, that should work just fine, and his micromanagement is exceptional, so any attempt to attack it with Baneling might prove to be futile. Catz, on the other hand, is completely and totally unpredictable. You never know what Catz is actually going to do. It is absurd, the amount of things he can do, and he is able to do things that people don't really consider possible or viable, and he's able to execute them in such an amazing way. The question is, what is he going to be up against? Well, he's going to be up against Select right here, who is opening with a 2 barracks approach. Very, very popular on the Korean ladders, for instance. A very aggressive, early style against Zerg. The question is, however, will he be able to deal with it? And I think, actually, he might have been relying on his opponent not scouting, which actually is not true. Catz is scouting very early on, much earlier than you might usually expect for a Zerg player. There you go. He actually sees both of the barracks right there, so he's going to be able to respond accordingly. However, Catz is going to be a little bit of trouble because he's opening up with a hatchery right now. He has just put his spawning pool down. Of course, he's got no extractor up yet. So what we can expect to see from Select is an attempt at, say, an early bunker push or something like that to try and contain Catz in his base and do as much damage as possible. And that's very effective against an opening that involves a hatchery because, of course, that means you don't have anything to defend it with. That's problematic. What is Catz going to do in order to counteract that? Now, usually you'd see him putting down something like spine crawlers, but he's going to have to wait until that spawning pool gets up before he's able to do anything of the sort. Grabs his extractor, Select gets the scout on. He sees there's nothing untoward in the base, and his strategy will no doubt go forward. And you can see right there, since he's got 3 SCVs off the front line, and if more to the point on the front line and off his mineral line, that he is ready to try and execute the strategy. Looking for the surround right here. Catz tries to catch that SCV out of position, fails to do that, and now we have Marines and SCVs sitting over there and a couple more streaming across the map. 2 more Marines are nearing completion right now, and now have 5 on the field. That's certainly enough to do big damage, especially if Select is able to get this early bunker push in right here. And Select backing away with 2 of his SCVs, not getting aggressive right now, which is a little unusual. Now keep an eye on him and see what he actually decides to do with this. Keeping map control, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But you'd expect if a player were to open up with that double barracks, then he would get really, really aggressive. Now perhaps waiting for 5 Marines, sends all of his other SCVs back off the line, which could be problematic. I would have expected him to keep them so that he can ensure that he actually gets that bunker placement. Now going for that spine crawler, and it looks like will he get there too late? No, he will not. Queen is up, however, so there you go. Catz manages to hold the line, and Select pushed away immediately. Might even lose the SCV in the process. Try and defend as much as he can. 1 Marine down, focusing fire on the Queen. Needs to bring reinforcements, and they're cut to pieces as Catz is able to intercept them from the side. Excellent play there by him, holding back, and that's really problematic now. incredibly problematic for Select. The early push has completely failed, and he's going to be forced perhaps to go into an expansion, which is what he's doing right now. And that will have done a little bit of damage to his economy. Not a huge amount, really. I mean, he did lose some SCVs. It's not a big deal. And Catz now going for the counter-attack. Looking for that, and of course the bunker will immediately be able to push him away. Loses several Zerglings in the process. That was a rather odd approach, honestly. I don't know why he ran straight towards the bunker, especially since there were Marines there as well. That seemed unbelievably risky. Bunker going down right there for Select as well, trying to hold this line. He should be able to do that. And in the meantime, Catz is doing what he really should be doing right now, which is to build as many drones as possible, get his economy in order, and get a good lead on Select. Take advantage of the fact that Select has had to go into that expansion, and also has sacrificed some SCVs early game in order to do that push. Tries to take the SCV out, but it's not going to happen. Select is already prepared for that. Zergling's just wandering around, trying to keep Select caught out of position, but there's still 8 Marines on the field, a good force, and 2 bunkers available for that. So that is well defended, and I don't expect any real damage coming in from these Zerglings in the near future. In the meantime, Catz Spine Crawler has been redeployed. Could very easily be transfused if he actually had a spare queen to do that, but that's not going to happen. And it's not really a big concern, honestly. It will regenerate very, very slowly on creep. Second Spine Crawler coming down, which means that any attempts for harassment, say with Hellions or anything like that, are going to be fairly tricky. He'll have to run past not 1, but 2 Spine Crawlers, and the range of them is good as well. That one should be able to hit pretty much anything around there. And a Baneling nest going in the back of the natural expansion for Catz as well. Very juicy. A smart move, considering that his opponent is relying primarily on Marines, as well as this collection of bunkers right here. Easy to bust through those with a plentiful supply of Banelings. And obviously, since he has the Speedling upgrade, he has full map control. Should be able to keep his opponent away from that base, and that should go unscouted for the time being, assuming a scout doesn't end up going down with, say, a scan from the Orbital Command Center. Looking for 2 factories right here. Could be going into Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellion. Could be looking simply for some heavy mech push. I'd say Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellion is fairly likely right now. It looks like he does have the gas that he needs to go into that. We'll see what he decides to put down. Tech Lab going down on 1. I would expect a reactor on the other, but we'll find out. A double evolution chamber, and actually an armory coming down right now for Select, so we could in fact be seeing a Thor push. And Catz now trying to do as much damage to the economy of Select as possible. Not a huge amount done, enough really to try and keep Select on the back foot. That's the thing. If Select is going for Thor right now, which really is a possibility, and in fact is the only... That is odd, really. It really, really is. He's actually going for armory, so he could even be going for vehicle upgrades, which is not all that common, honestly. It really, really isn't. Infernal Pre-Igniter, and then perhaps a vehicle upgrade for the Hellions. We'll find out, though. Could simply be going into that and then transitioning into Thor's later on in the game, which would make sense considering that Catz has already got his lair up, and we could see a Spire coming up, but he's not going to do that right now. He's got 2 evolution chambers. He's looking for melee upgrades and ground carapace, and we have the infestation pit coming up for him as well. Interesting stuff. And an overseer as well. Just have a look around, and yes, that's exactly what Select is doing. He is bringing out the vehicle weapon upgrade, which, hey, is going to be nice for him in the late game anyway, since I would expect him to break out some Thors and siege tanks later on. Catz keeping an eye on things. Does he have enough to do it? He does have enough to contaminate, so he's able to delay that. Personally, I would have delayed the Infernal Pre-Igniter, but hey, there you go. One way or the other, it will still delay that Hellion push, and he's probably got the information he needs. And is he able to get away? Oh, so very close, but I'm afraid not. Really needs to get the pneumatic carapace upgrade to make sure they're just a little bit quicker. Pathogen glands coming out, Infestors will be following up, and plenty of Zerglings coming out of the field as well. He's got 28 in total, and Infestors will work quite well against those Hellions, be able to lock him down nice and easy. And another expansion for Catz right here. This would be his 3rd base, and also looking for his 4th with a follow-up right here. However, Select has done nothing really with those Hellions right now. Looking to try and get a critical mass by the looks of it. Siege tank upgrade coming up, as well as a couple of siege tanks and infantry weapons. It's a very diverse strategy here from Select, so he'll be looking to transition, I would imagine, into Marine tank, possibly with some Thors to back him up if the Mutalisks come on the field, which they are right now. We are seeing the Spire coming up. 4 Infestors on the way for Catz, and Select moving in immediately, and that Spine Crawler is not going to be deployed in time, unfortunately. Queen looking for an interception, however, a lot of damage could be inflicted right here as he goes for the back line. Oh, wow, toasty, toasty, toasty! Yes, no, 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 that's not what you want in your minimal line at all, and Catz trying to desperately drive him away, not able to get the surround. Select, very smart, moving into that narrow corridor. Spine Crawler takes 1, looks for the 2nd. Great micromanagement there by Select. Loses another one, however. Fungal Growth locks it down. Nicely done. There's the surround and immediately annihilated. Excellent play there by Catz. Great timing, great patience. And in terms of the income count right now, it's still looking pretty good for Catz. However, Select has actually managed to get a lead there, so that's a lot of damage he was able to do. Catz is not out of it, certainly, and he can very easily rebuild, but still, that is a nasty bit of damage to be done to him. So those Hellions really did their job. Banelings, on the way to follow that one up. Looking for a counter-attack right now. A Select moves in for an expansion. Hasn't actually cleared this area out yet. And is really, look at this. This is incredibly defensive formation. 3 barracks at the front, backed up by these 2 siege tanks, and also another barracks right there and a frontal siege tank. That's not what you want to go running through at all, and that should be fairly Zergling proof. However, there is a hole in the defenses, of course, around the side right here, which Select is also trying to block off. Will be Baneling bustable, however, it will require a lot of Banelings in order to do that, so it might not be cost effective. Vehicle upgrade level 2 coming up right here for Select as well, and there we go. Catz with the burrow, and anything that comes over there is going to get a nasty surprise. Oh, nice play there by Catz as well. Look at that. It's going to force a scan or a missile turret going down for Select, simply because he's not going to be able to place anything there, even if he gets rid of that. A borrowed Baneling, in fact, a borrowed Zergling to deny that particular expansion. More Infestors on the way, and the Hive Tech. We're only 14 minutes into the game. We're already seeing all of these diverse unit types. This is looking to be a stellar encounter. And no, I'm afraid not, Select. You can't do anything about that. I have to wonder how long it's going to take him. There you go. He realizes it, eliminates it, and a little bit of delay on the economy of Select, which is certainly a very good thing indeed. However, Catz is certainly streaming ahead right now, even though his work count is slightly behind, simply because he's already got a hold of this one, fully saturated it, plenty more on the way. Now, Planetary Fortress coming up right here, which might make this a little bit tricky. Catz unable to really assail that with the use of his Infestors. Once again, denying all of these expansion points. One there, and he's got a Zergling there as well. Just trying to delay his opponent, and that is a great idea. Absolutely solid play there by Catz. And I wonder if he suspects what is under there right now. Obviously, he's not going to pop any Banelings on that just yet. Nice little swarm, takes him out nice and easy. More Zerglings on the way, couple of Spine Crawlers, and upgrades aplenty. Crown Carapace, melee attack, and we're looking at flyer attack upgrade as well. Notice just how late the stim pack actually ended up being for Select right there. Only just really getting it rolling. Only halfway done now. And we're looking at a situation where we're 16 minutes into the game. That's intense stuff. And finally, we see the Thor follow-up, which was expected. 3 Thors simultaneously coming out right now, and a great Aspiring response for Catz. This is turning out to be excellent stuff. 3 Mutalisks on the field, not a huge number, not really interested in it right now. Wouldn't really blame him, honestly. Zerglings run into a wall of firepower, not the kind of thing you want. And Select, oh, Banelings, this is looking messy. Select is not perhaps expecting anything like that. However, note the Catz will be patient. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic use of the Baneling mines. And a double detonation there. Extra damage done. And the Mutalisk going to finish it off. However, he doesn't have the numbers. Really doesn't. If he actually had the numbers, he would have been able to clean up that entire line right there. Very unfortunate, but that's what you get for not going with the Mutalisk. He's got Corruptors coming out. He's going to follow those up with Broodlords. Catz moving forward once again, trying to keep an eye on things, and still, this is going to be difficult to attack without getting those Broodlords on the field. Thor's patrolling to deal with Mutalisk harassment. However, I have to wonder if Select is expecting Broodlords right now. Certainly a possibility. That siege tank line is looking very deadly. 9 siege tanks, 3 Thors, 29 Marines in the mix for him. Heavy mech firepower. Catz moving forward and throwing away a Queen just to try and delay these forces for a little bit longer. Catz does have 6 Infestors on the field. Plenty of Zerglings ready to flank it. Here it comes, and a quick lockdown right there with the fungal growth. Rips that force in 2. What a great fungal that was. And Catz able to hold the line with the greatest of ease, losing a bare minimum. Charges in once again. Not enough Mutalisk to really do any real damage to that. In the meantime, Catz has expanded over here and over here. Plenty of bases for Catz right now. His macro play looking very solid. And in comes Select, raining it down and bringing down that hatchery incredibly rapidly. Thanks to the sheer firepower of those Thors. Nothing's going to stop them as of yet. However, look at those upgrades. Adrenal Glands, melee attack, ground carapace, flyer attack, and some Broodlords on the way for Catz. This is quite the treat, ladies and gentlemen. And Terran Vehicle Weapon Upgrade level 3, which honestly is not all that common unless you happen to be Goody, the German mech player, or you happen to be Select. who is just really difficult to get. He's got some great varied styles. It clears out another expansion, and Cat's unable to defend against that. That is really problematic. Those Broodlords would have proved to be invaluable right there, but Catz is actually now suffering heavily in terms of his economy and needs to start saturating those other bases as quickly as possible. One there, and we're going to lose a third base in as many minutes right here. That's not what you want at all, and the immobility of Cat's forces is really being put to the fire right now. In the meantime, Catz is looking for a counterattack. How much damage can he really do to that siege line? The answer is a hell of a lot. He could rip that apart very, very easily indeed. No Vikings on the field. No aircraft of any description. A critical error in Select strategy right now. And now just starting up those starports. The Thors will not help all that much. They are not quick enough. It would require a misstep right here, as actually Catz loses all but one of his infestors, but is able to rip the Thors out of the field immediately as a follow-up. So that's not too bad at all. In come the siege tanks. They can't do anything. They're going to be torn apart by those Broodlings, ripping through his forces incredibly rapidly right now. And now, as you can see, from the air, Select under major siege. Down goes the bunker. In comes the stim. The question is, how many can it tear apart? Looks for one, looks for two. And Catz once again caught out of position and losing almost all of those Broodlords. A very, very bad mistake right there. Not good for Catz. He did take out all the Marines, so there's not a lot of anti-air remaining. But honestly, that was an unnecessary sacrifice as far as I'm concerned. However, he does have spare resources. He's able to follow it up, eating Thor firepower from the ground. And there's the stim, looks for the second one, and he can take it as well. Once again, Catz not ready to receive that. That is a critical mistake. So many Broodlords already thrown away as a direct result of that. However, bear in mind, the resources lost looking to be about equal right now. Infestors moving around, but not able to really deal with it. More Broodlords morphing in. The Marines torn apart as rapidly as possible. He needs ground forces to deal with that, or at least get the Infestors forward so that he doesn't keep throwing Broodlords away like that. Catz with the fungal growth right there, not able to finish it off. However, the Broodlord should be able to finish it. And now we've got Vikings on the field. Where are those Corruptors? He's only got one. That will not be enough. And Catz Broodlord's getting torn apart simply due to a lack of support and bad positioning there as far as I'm concerned. There we go, another Broodlord taken out, and one Corruptor might take out a single. Yes, it is able to take out a single Viking. The other one will go down. Not a lot of air superiority available right now, and of course, Select is going to take full advantage of that. Neural Parasite on the way for Catz. Very sensible. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't come up with it earlier, considering his opponent is front-loading Thors right now. In the meantime, those Vikings just hanging around, keeping an eye on things, and Zergling's able to get away almost immediately. If we have a look at the economic state of Catz, it is lagging a little bit, but not by a critical amount. He's got this area right here that's nice and secure. This one is just fine right now, and he will be able to resaturate that gold mineral expansion as soon as he wants. He's got more Corruptors on the way to try and deal with those Vikings, regain air superiority. Very easy to do, considering you're only going up against 5. However, there are 3 more on the way and more Thors, and in the meantime, the unstoppable advance of a heavy mechanized force with level 3 weapon upgrades is coming in. Nothing will live under that kind of firepower. That is very, very risky indeed. And in the meantime, Select charging up the line. Takes 1 Spine Crawler, takes 2. Queen is down, and that hatchery is potentially doomed right now. What will the response be? The response will be to attack the front line of Select as a huge swarm of Zerglings, 95 in total, stream across the map, right past the defenses as Select is trying to roll out. His immobility is proving to be his weakness right now. The Zerglings trouncing everything, ripping their way through his forces. That expansion is doomed. In the meantime, Select moving backwards to try and deal with that. In the meantime, a counterattack coming in right now from the air, trying to snipe off as many Broodlords as possible. He takes one. Looks like he'll take a second as well. Where is that air superiority? It's nowhere. Catz is not paying attention to this right now, and he could have grabbed them much, much earlier with the fungal growth. In the meantime, Select getting pushed really hard. Supply depot is being ripped out from under him. He is losing all of his factories right now. His production building's gutted by a sustained assault from those Zerglings, and he is supply blocked heavily right now. Catz with the upper hand, even after taking some economic damage, should be able to deal with this. More Zerglings on the way. The forces of Select looking a little bit beleaguered right now. He certainly has a lot of firepower at his disposal, but he has very little in terms of production, and his supply count is caught way, way out right now. Problematic. More Zerglings swarming in. Will they be able to make their way past the front line? It is looking unlikely. Look at the way that Select has actually constructed these defenses. This is a barricade, folks. This is effectively trench warfare right here by Select. He will hold that line. He has to hold that line right now. Catz, in the meantime, trying to rebuild his forces. And actually, the supply count, regardless of the supply blocking, Select is still ahead in terms of his army count. Neural Parasite right there. No strike cannons, which is unfortunate, but look at that. Follows it up with a fungal growth. Tears all of the Marines apart. Unbelievable play there by Catz. However, that is not quite enough. There's still a lot of firepower he needs to bring down. Down goes the gold middle expansion. Broodlings actually take out a Thor in the meantime. More Broodlords on the way. The Marine count is gone. That's going to be dangerous. A lot of shelling coming in from there and tears apart 1, 2, and 3 Vikings. Looking for another Thor. Takes another and another. Corruptor air superiority is king right now. There you go, nicely done there, and a good defense there by Catz. However, he did lose quite a lot, but seriously, 5 or 6 Thors taken out by him. That cannot be understated. Oh, 3 SCVs. It is a lunch buffet right now for the Zerglings of Catz, and he is feeling very good about himself right now. Another planetary fortress on the way, however, it might come down. It looks like, oh, it's almost doomed. He lifts it off very rapidly. Where are those Corruptors? They could finish this off right now. It is on fire. He can rip apart all of those SCVs as they come in. 3 kills right now, and that's not what Select wants at all. Still a very close game. In the meantime, Select putting a pusher. He putting a pusher? What the hell is that? Nobody knows, folks. It's a new word. Pusher, pressure, pressure, pusher. We do not care. That's what's coming down on Catz, and unable to defend that expansion up there. Oh, wow, that's looking a little bit risky. 50 HP and falling rapidly. Where is the SCV? He locks them down with a fungal growth. Another fungal growth to follow it up with. Unbelievable. No SCVs will repair. Oh, he manages to get one through. That is unbelievable play there by Catz. Excellent, excellent stuff. Swarms around. Can he take it? Can he do the damage? He takes it. Wow, excellent, excellent stuff. Unbelievable. I keep saying this because this game is bananas. It is absolutely absurd. It's one of the most ridiculous games I've seen in a very, very long time from both of these guys. And it's still all to play for. Select is lagging behind in terms of supply count, however, and his harvester count died so very hard as a result of that infestor play right there by Catz. This is looking really dicey for Select. Catz could potentially take this. He has an economy, whereas Select actually does not. He's looking to expand once again, locked down by a Zergling. That will delay the expansion of Select, and also his harvester count is looking really weak. That's barely enough to actually saturate a single base right now. Can't deploy it. Select forced to go through right there. The scan will come in and eliminate that Zergling, but wow, it did its duty, folks. It really, really did. There will be a mention in the Book of Honor if the Zerg have one, and if they don't, they will write it on the dead skin of those Marines. Indeed, 1 Marine per page, folks. Not talking about efficiency. Charges into the line. Loses a ton of Zerglings in the process, but it doesn't matter. He can afford to do that. In the meantime, here comes the rollout, and well, that's a barracks. Okay, I was expecting to see a command center. Never mind. 3 barracks. Might as well. Catz sitting on 11 infestors right now because hell, why not? He can. And he's backed up by 4 Broodlords, 6 Corruptors right now. Still expanding his economy. Still in a great state. Select forced into a corner. And that's really all it is. He is back in a corner. He is unable to expand beyond this single base. If this base goes down, if these siege tanks are eliminated, he will be in a ton of trouble. His Viking count is looking particularly weak. He's only got 3. Now going in with the Broodlords after that planetary fortress. That one will, of course, go down. And in the meantime, that barracks will also die. And why, oh, why, oh, why not? Oh, wow. Look at this. Infestor claws burrowing right underneath this, and he's not going to see this coming a mile away. Look at this. Is he going to do what I think he's going to do? Are we going to see the fungal growth right here on the mineral line? We very well might. I'm looking forward to this one. In the meantime, got a final push right here by Select. Catz, are you going to do what I think you're going to do? Are you going to do what I think you're going to do? Yes, yes, yes! Fungal growth and infested Terran into the line. Select loses entire economy in approximately 3.5 seconds. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh yes, sneaky, sneaky Inspector Infestor Gadget right now. I'm sorry, Select, but you have nothing left. A bunch of tanks and no cash to speak of. A single SCV. Catz with his unbelievable playstyle. Select unable to deal with it. And now the heavy mech of Select will be ripped in 2. Oh yes. He cleaves his foes in twain right now. Nothing will live. Infested Terrans, go, go, go. Select running away as rapidly as he can. Surely, surely this must certainly be a good game. final encounter comes in. There's the fungal at the front, and all of the Marines are torn up almost immediately. Takes out the siege tanks with the Broodlords. Select falling back once again. In the meantime, that barracks and the infestors. Oh, wow. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Infestor gadget. Oh, yes. Nothing will remain. When Catz insanity is done with you, stare not into the playstyle, the void of the playstyle of Catz, ladies and gentlemen, lest it stare back at you. GG, if your mind is still intact and is not bleeding out of your ears right now, then I have more action for you from these two. Are you ready for it? You might want to take a few minutes, just catch your breath. Oh yes. More action from the IGN Pro League coming up very soon. My name is Total Biscuit, and we've just got started.